Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Briarwood Christian Lions head soccer coach Mike Bautista. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
We're on the campus of Briarwood Christian School speaking with the soccer coach, Mike Bautista. Welcome in, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you for coming in. So tell us a little bit about your background and coaching experience. How did you come to be here?
That's a fairly loaded question, but I guess I'll start with growing up playing soccer. I'm originally from Spain, grew there until I was around 13, and then my family moved over to Tennessee.
Okay.
Went to high school and ended up playing in college over at Bryan College in Tennessee. And from there, wasn't exactly looking to coaching. I was going to go into a different route, but just through different life experiences that occurred, ended up at a school in North Carolina, and that's where I ended up starting coaching. This is about, close to 8 years ago now.
Okay.
So kind of stumbled into that job and fell in love with it. It was just something about getting into the sports, being around just these young guys and working with them and seeing their improvement. I was there for 2 years, and then Sean Brower, who was the old administrator here and head soccer coach here at Briarwood, who's been here for quite a while, we got in contact with just some people that we knew, and he ended up getting me to come over this way to join Briarwood. This is about 5 years ago now.
Good.
And he was still the head coach until about 3 years ago before he moved on and moved over to Augusta, and I kind of just filled in after him and been the head coach here ever since.
Okay, good deal. So tell us a little bit about the team this year. How are they looking? What's their makeup? Are they a young team, an older team?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Well, this team's exciting. This is the first time in a long time we've had a bunch of seniors.
Oh, nice. Veteran team.
Veteran team, finally. For years, I feel like we're always
working up to it.
There's just the small guys in these games, and now we're finally to where they've grown. Yeah. It's just fun to see them perform the way that they have been.
Good.
What's cool about it is, at least within Briarwood, it's difficult a lot of times to reload just due to the number volume. Mm-hmm. But these guys have really set the standard and stage and invest even into younger guys to where, as I look down each grade level, man, we got a really good pipeline going on.
Right.
And these guys have spearheaded that effort, and it's been really cool to see.
Good deal. Well, so far you're 12-4 on the season, 3-0 in area play, so you got to be loving that.
Feeling good.
What's that?
We're feeling good about that.
Yeah, feeling good about that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the more important games you've played to this point. First one being you played Homewood. You lost that one 3-1. I'm curious why you wanted to talk about this one.
For years, I think, and at least within the soccer community, Homewood's been pretty much a standard.
Right.
They've won state several times in the last several years. They've had this reloading process, and what Coach Kirsch does over there is just really solid work. And I think for us, we were stuck in their area for a couple years, and we lost every time.
Oh, boy.
And it was we're trying to, these guys are youngsters back then, and we're trying to just rise to the occasion and challenge them. And it was a consistent battle, but one that we always fell short. And going into this year, there was something in talking with the boys, just as we're looking for team goals, what we're looking for the season, they really wanted to challenge Homewood. Again, they're not in our area.
Right.
They wouldn't be a team we would see until the very end of playoffs if that's what happens.
Gotcha.
But they wanted that. They wanted to be able to, let's see where we measure up again.
Right.
And that game, to me, was a fun game. Even though we lost, I felt like that game in particular showcased for us that we had quality enough to challenge.
Yeah. That
game could have swung very differently based off just the gameplay that the guys did.
Sure.
And I know for sure it made us better. And we're talking with Coach Kirsch as well. It made their guys better too. It was just a fun game, a good night. And although it's a little bitter that we lost, to me, if we had a chance to face them again, I think it would just be an excellent opportunity for my guys to really show that growth that they've had.
Sure.
So I think for us, that was just a great game, an important game that kind of, even though it's one of the losses, shows for us that, hey, we can actually do it. So 3-1, it is what it is, but I think it's good to have a humble moment to where we can keep working for.
At the same time, iron sharpens iron, so it does nothing but make you better, correct?
Exactly. So that was a great night.
So another very tough team you played was Mountain Brook. You won that one, a tight one, 1-0. Tell us about that game.
That game, man, something about going to Spartan Stadium and that arena. What they have there is they just have their own thing going that's really strong. It's been historic. They've Coach Webb, I mean, man, one of the great pillars of soccer when it comes to Alabama.
Yes,
and
sir.
Just the opportunity to be able to play them. It was a tight match. One of my guys, I'll talk in a little bit, actually had the goal that game.
Okay.
And for us in particular, I know we've never beaten them. We've always been smaller, but we also haven't had the chance to really always play Mountain Brook.
Right.
But having the opportunity to play them this year, and it was a great game. Good. It was a really good game both ways. They had a PK at one point that forced our keeper to really make something special happen. And it was just a game of inches, but we ended up coming up on top. And I think for us, like, we've never beaten them. Right. And that's kind of those things with these guys and these seniors in particular. They're forging for themselves a pretty strong legacy of a lot of firsts.
That's good.
There's several teams that we've never beaten that we're challenging, and hey, we're taking it to them, we're winning. So my hope is for them is to use games like the Homewood game and the Mountain Brook game, like, hey, now it's a matter of, can we just keep going?
Right.
Let's stay hungry, let's keep working forward, and just proud of what they're doing. And the record shows we started 0-3.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was just like, we started 0-3, a lot of questions, a lot of figuring themselves out. But the senior leadership this year has been special in the sense of being able to answer some of those questions.
Good.
And now we're starting to get some of these results coming through too.
Nice.
So Mountain Brook, I thought, was like one of the first stamps of finally getting the result that we wanted.
Getting it turned, right?
That's
Good
right.
deal. So another difficult game. You played a big area game against Pelham, and you squeaked it out. And my understanding is that you won it on a penalty kick. Tell us about that.
That was so there's a lot of history with that.
Okay.
Pelham, what Patrick McDonald does at Pelham. I mean, he's growing these boys up into men from and it's incredible what he's done there for years. And we've been stuck with him in our area, and I know he feels the same. It's like, man, it's just this is a playoff game every time.
Yes,
so like, why are we having to play each other so much? But they've played us in PKs, I think, every year now, and we've lost every year against them at PKs.
Wow.
So there's like this, dark cloud when it comes to penalty kicks.
And
like,
it's always in the back of your mind.
Always.
It's probably going to come down to this.
Yeah, and so when the game was just unfolding, both teams are just going at it. No goals are going in somehow. And I know everyone felt it, whether it's our fans, whether it's players, like, we're just going to go to PKs again.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
Again, to showcase the senior class, they've always lost against Pelham in PKs.
Right.
And when we're getting out there, getting ready to shoot these shots, the sense wasn't panic. I think they just felt like we can finally get over this.
Yes. Good deal.
And so they stepped up to the plate, and they just hammered home to each one. None of them missed. And, it was just a special night for us in the sense of, like, man, Pelham, you had us for years. But it felt good finally to take one to them in that first area game that we had.
Good.
So
good deal.
That was a quality game.
Yeah. So you've got a number of games coming up, and we're going to talk about those right after this message.
PrepsNet Coach Speak with Briarwood Christian School head soccer coach Mike Bautista is proudly sponsored by Campus Traditions. Go Lions!
And we're back. Coach, the next 2 weeks will pretty much finish up the season for you. You're going to start tonight with Chelsea. Another tough team. I'm telling you, the Shelby County group is difficult. Tell us what you think you'll see from them.
Oh, man. Coach Miller and Chelsea, he's been building up that squad for years. And like, for them and what they do, they're well coached. They're well in shape. And, like, there's just a rivalry between us and them.
Yes.
It's just every single game we play them, we know they're going to have to take the best out of us. We have to take the best out of them. And it's just the speed of the game is just a different level than pretty much any game we play. And last game we had against them, I felt like, one, it was a bit uncharacteristic. I think a momentum shift happened that we just capitalized, and it just ended up going our way. But this is a new game. This is something I've talked with the guys for preparing for this game. Each game is different. And I know for Chelsea, for them, they are focused.
Yeah.
And they have to win this.
Okay.
Like, this is one of those, like, the area is so tough that no
Yes.
game's for granted.
Right.
And for us, we need to approach that same mentality.
Right.
We have to win this too.
Yeah.
And part of it is what kind of team we want to become, right? We got to be consistent. We have to stay hungry. We got to keep going. And I'm excited for the challenge. I know we're going to have to do adjustments because I know they're doing adjustments.
Right.
And it's just going to, I think it's going to be more of a chess match this time around. And
Sure.
yeah, it's just going to be a fun night. And I know, like, Chelsea, they got people coming out. We got our fans coming in.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a loud night. Beautiful. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we can't ask for a better setup to take it to the number 2 team in the state in
Wow.
Chelsea. So
That's
Chelsea,
crazy.
they can score in a hurry, and I know they're eager. And for them, they have to win this. That's the
Gotcha.
mentality, and we have to win this too. So it should be a
Right.
fun night for us.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
So next up, you have Spain Park on Tuesday of next week.
Yes, sir.
Another area game. What do you think you'll see from them?
Well, Coach Hall in Spain Park, they're continuing to build. And I
Right.
know for them, they feel the same way.
Right.
They have to win.
Yes.
And that's the thing with the area play. Like, you have to win each
You're
game.
going to get everybody's best game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, same thing. Like, even though we're looking at Chelsea now, as soon as this game's over, we got to refocus and take it
Right.
to Spain Park.
Right.
A lot of our players, they overlap. They know each other. They've grown up playing. So there's definitely a lot of friendly banter and
Oh, I'm
competition
sure.
between them.
Yes.
But like, that's one of those things makes at least playing these teams close to us so fun. It's
Right.
like, in a way, we all kind of grow up together.
Right.
And so the challenge is to just, again, stay consistent, boys. Like, that's what we got to keep going.
Yep.
Let's stay consistent and keep working. And yeah, Spain Park won state 7A a couple years ago.
Wow.
They got guys coming through that they're working hard and
Right.
trying to improve. And they're unfortunately towards the bottom of our area, but it's a game of inches. They lost PK shootouts. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just so close.
Yeah.
And so, again, for us, let's keep going after it. Looking
Sure.
forward to that game. That's all.
Gotta
we're
stay
going to
hungry.
Spain Park to do it, and let's
Yeah.
get it done.
For sure. So then on Thursday, you have Montgomery Academy.
Yeah.
What intel do you have on the Eagles? What do you know about them?
I mean, they were in 6A last year,
Okay.
powerhouses, and then they moved up through competitive balance, which I guess we kind of know
That
a little bit
happens.
about that. It happens,
Yes.
right? But they're up in 7A, and I mean, they're taking care of business up there.
Wow.
Some people were thinking like, oh, they're a struggle just because they're smaller. They graduated a couple guys
Right.
that were key to their success last year. But no, they're good.
They're rocking
They're
along.
they're doing just fine against the very best. And so that to us is another, to me, a game I wanted on the schedule. This is a quality team. It's going to force the best out of us.
Right.
And we're going to have to rise to that.
Yeah.
I know years ago, thinking back with the Broward days, Montgomery Academy was probably the most important win they had in their run when we won the state playoffs back in 2019. And so that was a PK shootout right at the very end of the semis. And
Right.
man, they're going to be good. It's going to be exciting. And what better way to keep going in April than 2 great area games, but also
Sure.
taking it to one of the best 7A teams around.
Sure. And then you turn around on the 15th, you play John Carroll, another tough team. Tell us about the Cavaliers. What do you expect
man.
to see?
Kirkpatrick has those guys just firing on all cylinders. They're always going to get out to an aggressive start. They're going
Right.
to want to just impose their will on anyone they play.
Sure.
And that's a game, we play them every year. Just historically, that's just been such a fun game for us. I think it forces our guys to grow. And now I'm thinking, like, it's not an area. They're down in 5A just doing their damage all down there to those poor teams.
Right.
We want to be able to measure up against them as well. And, yeah, that's just been a game that, for me, I always want on the schedule, but the boys do too.
Right.
To where, like, it's just going to force us to continue improving and get better and figure out some things.
Right.
Again, their aggression can't be understated, and that's just something that I like playing against, teams that will definitely want to bow up and play their best.
Good. Good deal. So there's one other regular season game on the schedule that we haven't talked about, but we're going to hold it for the next show in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Coach, that's our first show together. We appreciate your time. We're not done yet, though. We're going to talk to 3 different players here in just a minute. Their names are senior midfielder Sawyer Felton, senior forward Carson Tucker, and senior defender Cameron Harrington. We're going to talk to these young men right now. Welcome in, Sawyer.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us, how's the senior season going?
Yeah, that's a good question. This season has been very fun so far. Even though we got off to a really bad start with 3 losses at the Foley tournament,
right.
It's just been super fun getting to hang out with these guys for the last ride. I've been playing with these guys for a long time over the years, whether it's in club or in high school.
Okay.
And so it's just been super fun getting to have these practices with them and team dinners, and then just getting to play alongside each other in these games.
Good deal. Who do you like to play the most? What's the team that kind of gets under your skin and you really want to play them?
So over the years, I would say Pelham is a big game for me. I a couple years back missed a PK in a very detrimental game for our season, and so ever since that happened, and ever since we play them in area games or different other games, it's just super fun to have good competition.
Yeah.
They're always a great team. They're coached well. They play well together. And so every time it's a different mindset going into that game. I'm super anxious and I'm super ready to go. And so we always have big team talks before we play Pelham because we're all super excited.
Right.
Because we know it's going to be a hard-fought game. So that's always definitely been the biggest game for me. And, I mean, it showed that we're pretty neck and neck as teams. Even this year, we already went to PKs with them in our first area game.
Right.
And so hopefully next time we won't go into PKs, but you never know what will happen. So.
Okay, good deal. So you're looking down the barrel of the end of the regular season, basically 2 weeks, and you're done, hopefully moving on. But what's been your favorite memory to this point?
To this point, I would say a memory for me was in 8th grade season. When I first started varsity, we had an injury from one of our strikers that started. His name was Trent Malloy. And so I was a little 8th grader, like way under probably 100 pounds. And I was going against all these, big old guys on the back line. And so the first game that we had at home, it was raining, it was freezing, it was definitely below 32, and I was on the edge of getting frostbite.
Oh, no.
And so I'll never forget that moment. I remember Coach Bautista, the head coach here, he was just trying to get me warm. We had these big coats that we were wearing for the game. And so just, even though that was kind of a sad moment for me because I was so cold and I didn't want to be there, it was just super fun to have my first varsity game just be a big memory for me, especially in that 8th grade year. So, yeah.
Yeah, good deal. So you're not only coming to the end of the season, you're coming to the end of your senior year.
Yes, sir.
What are your plans after graduation?
Okay, yes. So I have verbally committed to Covenant College.
Oh, nice.
On Lookout Mountain, Tennessee.
Very good.
So Coach Boscraft and Anthony Buzzio are very excited to let me join their team, their soccer program up at Covenant College. And so I will play 4 years there. And Lord's willing, I might play later on after that. But I'm not really sure what major I'll decide to take on yet. But I think in God's time, He'll help me figure out what I need to do there. But I'm just super excited that I'll be taking another step at a Christian college and a private school where I think the Lord will help me in my soccer journey and also my education journey.
Good
so that's
deal.
what I'll be doing.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors.
Yes, sir. Thank you
all
so
right.
much.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
Welcome in, Carson.
Thank you so much.
All right. Glad to have you here. So how's your season going so far?
Yeah, of course. My season's been going great so far. Senior year, I've grown up with all the guys I'm playing with. We've been here mostly since freshman year.
Right.
It's just been so fun to see these guys grow. And under our head coach, he got the head coaching job while we've been here.
Oh, wow.
And just seeing that, I mean, it's been so great. We have a great time. And so it was a rough start to the season.
Right.
Had a couple losses, had some learning experiences, but I think now we've really hit our stride, and I'm excited to see what's to come. So.
Okay, good deal. So what is that team that you can't wait to play? Who is that for you?
Yeah, I think for me, Mountain Brook is probably the team that I have the most history with. Last year against them, I got a red card. I lost my head. And the year before that, I scored the tying goal to help us tie them at home, which we hadn't really done before. And so this year going up against them, just the biggest thing was just having composure and try to like just control my emotions.
Yes, yes, for sure.
But it was
play at that high intensity
for
level.
sure. So it was such a fun game, and we ended up winning 1-0. We've never done that, so
good deal.
It was super fun, and just experiencing that with my guys was a memory I'll never forget. So,
okay, I ask you the same question. You're on your senior season right now. What's been your favorite memory so far?
Yeah, I'd probably say back in my freshman year, we had a JV game where we had all the freshmen who are now seniors go out and play a game together. And it was just me and all my friends, and we really didn't know what the Lord had in store for us. But we got out there and we killed the sport team. And so
that's cool.
It was great, and I scored a couple times, and it was just so fun just seeing that. And now we get to, do it for real out on the varsity level. So definitely one of my favorite memories.
Okay, good deal. So what are you planning to do after graduation?
Of course. I looked around and did some ID camps and talked to some coaches about playing soccer, but ultimately after praying about it and talking to my family, I think I'm going to pursue Auburn University and study business there and hopefully engage in the club activities there for soccer. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Right, Harbert School of Business. Great way to go.
Yes, sir.
Good deal.
So
well, we certainly appreciate you coming in. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome in, Cameron.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So first off, before I ask the question, I have something I wanted to say, and that is congratulations on being All-State last season.
Thank you.
How did that go up? How did that come about, and how was the season for you?
It was a great season for me personally, but it was also a great season for our team as a whole.
Yeah.
It was my first time and all the people in my grade's first time making playoffs,
Right.
It was something that we wanted at the start of the season, and I remember having a talk with my head coach, Coach Bao, and he just said, he was like, I really think this year will be a first-team All-State year for you. And I just kind of looked at him, and I was like, you serious?
It kind of stuck in your head, didn't it?
Yeah, it was always in the back of my mind. And then I just remember waking up one morning in the summertime to a text from Bao, and he was like, guess what? And I was like, what happened? And he was like, you got first-team All-State. And I was like, yeah, you're just pulling my leg.
That's fantastic.
And he was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, wow, it was a great accomplishment for me.
Right.
It meant a lot.
Right. So now you're into your senior season. Tell us how it's going for you.
It's going well. We started off a little rocky,
Right.
I think we kind of came in with a little chip on our shoulder and starting off 0-3 in our first tournament, playing 3 big 7A schools. You know, it was a great start, even though we lost all 3. Playing big schools, you play against bigger guys, bigger competition. You really learn how to cope with being outsized and outmanned. So I think it's really helped as the season's gone on with our experience and things like that. Since then, though, we only have 1 loss to Homewood, who's a great squad.
Wow.
12-1 since then, and we're just we're rolling right now. Goals are coming in numbers, and it's going great.
Good deal. So who is that team? I'll ask you the same question, and everyone has their own opinion, but who is that team that you really want to play?
We haven't played them much. We played them last year for the first time, for me at least, and we're playing them again this year. It's Oak Mountain,
Oh, wow.
I know that. I know everyone on that entire team. I play club with a lot of the guys on that team, and it's just someone that they're right down the road. They're like 2 miles away, and you just want to beat them every time. And they're always a good squad. They haven't lost a game this year, so
they're best.
Going into that game, we're definitely going to be the ones to break that win streak. That's what we want to do.
Good deal. What's been your favorite memory to this point?
I think for me, my favorite memory is my sophomore year. We were playing an area game at Helena, who's no longer in our area anymore, but we went down 2-0 at half. And I remember Coach Bao, he just ripped into us at halftime. He was not happy at all.
Right.
And Started the second half, we scored the first goal, and we were finally like, we can win this game.
Yeah.
And it was off a corner kick, and it went back post, and I just headed it in the back of the net,
nice.
and that just started a comeback. And we ended up winning that game 3-2, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment.
Well, that had to have been a thrill for you to be a part of the scoring of that.
Yeah, I was so excited. I didn't even know what to do with I just started running around. I didn't even know what to do.
I got you. So tell me this, what are your plans after graduation?
So I looked around on the college soccer. I had a couple coaches interested in me
Yeah.
down in Huntington and a couple up in Tennessee, but
Okay.
it just didn't sit right with me. I really wanted to, but it just kind of all just teetered out. So I'm going to be going to Auburn, majoring
Okay.
in marketing.
All right.
Definitely going to do the club soccer down there. It's
Nice.
just, I've already talked to a couple of the players on that team. You know, they're
Yeah.
super cool. And it's just, I don't want to leave soccer. You know,
Right.
it's something I've done my whole life, so it's not something I want to give up just yet. So
Right.
I want to continue it in any way I can.
Good. Well, we wish you the best of luck in your
you.
college pursuits. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun and learn a lot. That's our show. We appreciate your time. And as always, we appreciate yours. Join us again in a couple of weeks for another Briarwood version of Coach Speak.